Hi guys, welcome to Car Facts. Today on this video I'm going to be discussing and comparing the 2021 AMG Mercedes GLE 63 SUV S and the BMW X5M competition. You see, there has been a lot of arguments concerning which one is better, and also I'll also be comparing the Audi R8 SUV, and it's a sports SUV that wants to look like the Lamborghini Urus. So let's just hop into it. But before we start, I bring up anything. There are two major car influencers and car reviewers who are like the gods in the automotive industry. They have been reviewing cars for a very long while now, and they have had a lot of views in whatever they've been doing. They've been having a lot of views. So the two of them had reviewed and compared the GLE AMG 63 and the X5M competition together, and they have come to that conclusion that the GLE in so many aspects is better than the X5 and the Audi RS8 SUV. So before I say anything, I would like you as my audience to watch their video and see what they are talking about. Let's get to their video right now. I'm going to start with CarWow.
This is the new Mercedes AMG GLE 63S. It's basically their family-friendly SUV, and they've put a rocket up its arse. And I'll show you just how powerful the rocket is, because I'm going to launch it and time it from 0 to 60 and over the standing quarter mile. And I'll be testing its brakes as well to make sure that it won't kill you. I'm also going to talk you around the car today about the upgrades over the standard GLE, both inside and out, what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Anyway, I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching CarWow.
Buying a new car? Then head to CarWow, and my team...
The 63S starts from around £112,000. It's quite a lot of money.
That's for pounds. For dollars too, it's also the same 112,000, but I know it's the MSRP. But I know that if you want to get it off the lot, it will cost you like 150, 160k. Okay, I think Monfar just got his. I don't know how many American celebrities have bought into it, but you know they prefer the G-Wagon 63 AMG more, or the GLE Coupe to this. So it's not many people really go for this. I know in Nigeria, my country, a lot of people are going for it, but not much. The 63 AMG, they are not going for it much. I know that it's the 350 and the 450 they are going for, 450S. The coupe is a little bit more on the expensive side. So.
However, if you haven't got quite that much cash, but you still want a performance SUV, I found a good offer on one through CarWow. If you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can see what the car is and the saving, alternatively from one of our trusted dealers. Let's talk through the design upgrades that you get on this AMG version of the GLE over the standard car. So obviously there's the badging, so that everyone knows it's the high performance version. Then there's a deeper, more sporty rear bumper, look, with diffusory bits on there. They're not really diffusing much. And then the AMG tailpipes, they do that thing where it's a little bit of a fake. Well, inside, look, you can see the real exhaust pipe. No, I haven't. Bi-turbo 4MATIC there as well. You also get these running boards as standard, which is good, and then you get the door mirrors, the roof bars, and the rear windows blacked out to make it look meaner. Here at the front, the biggest upgrade is this air intakes there as well to cool the radiators. You've also got these power domes in the bonnet. We have a CarWow Germany channel. Click on the pop-out banner up there to go check it out, and subscribe there as well. For the German setting, it sits 10mm lower to the ground than the normal GLE. You've also got adaptive dampers as well, so you can alter the comfort levels. The car also has 48-volt active anti-roll bars, so that'll stop it leaning in the corners, keep it nice and flat. The four-wheel drive system can send up to 100% of the engine's torque to the rear wheels, and you've got a limited slip differential at the back as well to make sure the wheel with the most grip is sent the most power for improved corner exiting traction. You've also got variable ratio steering, so when you're manoeuvring you don't have to do too much wheel twirling, yet when you're driving quickly it still remains nice and responsive and steady. Anyway, let's see what this car is like to drive by taking it for a spin on a twisty road. And let's see what this GLE 63S is like when you want to have some fun. I'm going to put the gearbox into manual and I'm going to turn this dial to go into Sports Plus mode, but then I'm going to press this button because I don't want the suspension in its firmest setting. I'm going to go in the middle setting. Let's do this. Oh yes, what a great noise. It certainly hauls ass, this thing, but does it go around corners? That's the collision warning system, because I was heading to the Armco there and it thought I wasn't going to turn, but I did. I'll tell you what, the steering...
You can see there, it has a lot of gadgets and it comes with a lot of technological innovation with road driving assistance, with some level of road driving assistance. You can see that when it was curving and getting near the pavement, it gave him that warning.
Pretty nice on this. It helps that you got that Alcantara covering on the steering wheel. It just makes it feel sporty. Corners, you just got to watch too much actually. Look, I'm just chugging to 60 miles an hour and over the 7¼ mile. I'm going to talk you through the upgrades you get on the inside of this GLE 63 over the standard car. So you've got an AMG sports steering wheel with fine apple leather and Alcantara. You also have the controls there for your driving mode, so you can toggle between comfort, sport and so on and so forth. And then you can toggle between other settings here using this other paddle. Really handy, dead easy to use when you're driving. Other upgrades include the AMG sport seats, which are ventilated, they're heated, they even have a massage function, and they are very, very comfy yet supportive. You also get carbon fibre hair on the dash, which is nice. Then there are aluminium pedals, you've got AMG mats, you've also got a Burmester sound system and panoramic glass roof, which I'll just open now. There it is, look. Almost. Newton meters of torque, hand built by... That's it, let's go. Oh yeah, people, it's time to talk about the engine. So it's a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 with 612 horsepower and 850 Newton meters of torque. Hand-built by a man called Mark Stutz. It's the first time I've...
You see? Yeah, it has a lot of horsepower right there. And again, I think the X5M competition has more power. The engine has more power than this GLE 63, but does not make it better than it. By the time we are getting to full throttle, when we go to the full throttle crew and see their review, you would understand a little bit better why they say the GLE is better than both the X5M competition and the RS8.
Ever been able to read one of the signatures from the engine builder guys from our filter back? They're normally just like that. Anyway, it drives all four wheels via a 9-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. Let's see how quick Mark's engine is, shall we? This car's supposed to do 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, but let's find out what it'll really do. So I've got my specialist timing gear here. I'm going to launch it, it's dead easy. You can do it in pretty much every mode apart from comfort, but I'm going to do it in race and with the stability and ESP sport, so it'll give me a bit of slip. Left foot on the brake, floor the throttle, build up boost, let go. It's quick. Whoa, what a noise. 3.67 to 60. What's the quarter mile? What is the quarter mile? Come on. 11.95. So what's a bit odd though, I thought it would have a proper launch control mode, but it doesn't seem...
For the speed, let's see. For the speed, let's see what speed the GLE 4MATIC does. The GLE AMG does. We know that it's a 9-speed automatic. Then it does probably 0 to 60 mph in, I think, probably 3-point-something seconds or so. That's the speed, and that's what the man from CarWow just explained. Both are 4-liter turbo V8 gas engines. So from there, now let's go and see what full throttle has to say, what the explanation has to say. This is a reaction to what they are doing. This is a reaction to what
SUVs. X5. I can see it already. GLE 63. We've been played again.
AMG, like
The road noise,
it'd be atrocious.
unbearable.
Unusable.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is what happens when Mercedes, BMW, and Audi turn their mid-size SUVs into performance monsters.
And we're talking serious performance. Under each of these hoods lies a twin-turbo V8. From the Merc, we get 603 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. From the Audi, 591 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. And the BMW is the horsepower leader, with 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. Clearly, these are all-out, balls-to-the-wall performance things, but the question is, at what cost?
Oh yeah, no, we actually have that information. As spec'd, they'll all run you about $150,000.
RSQ8.
Mercedes was the first half-ass, so behind me. Now, it's like a howitzer outside. Just crazy.
No. km/h time. Specific paintbrush tuning is
Hence an aggressive. I'm way too. It's the least horsepower of the three. Almost 600 horsepower. In perspective, I have to say, this is a very competent vehicle. The damping is good, the steering is accurate if a little bit too light, and overall, it does what you want it to. And it really does move these SUVs.
This is a normal SUV, like an X5 or a GLE 4. Apart? Yeah, you okay? No, you got.
So I had to pause there. This is where they are now going to compare the SUVs in terms of comfort.
See, now, just like a kid on the way to find out which of these SUVs sacrifices the least amount of comfort for its performance, I decided to run a little test. I'm going to sit in the back of each like a kid on the way to school and draw a little picture, while James drives us down a back road at a consistent speed. The most compromised drawing is the most compromised SUV.
all right. What are you going to draw, by the way?
It's just a portrait of you, actually. Yeah.
That's very concerning.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Oh my god.
Now my guess.
What mode are you in right now? Seriously.
This is comfort.
No,
This
it is
comfort.
not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So my guess is that this is going to be like up there with the BMW in terms of how bad the drawing is going to be. The Audi is definitely the most.
You
smooth.
think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm doing my best here.
It turns in
Oh, I
well,
did that wrong.
but there's definitely still some. It's a performance car. Even in comfort mode, this is a performance car.
But I'm getting jostled side to side here.
Even though it's a bit, it feels like a performance car even in comfort, but it's not bad. Like you could drive this for a while. The seats are quite comfortable. My problem is the transmission.
Yes.
It doesn't
Actually,
glaze like they are. All right, time for the Audi.
yes.
Now,
immediately more subtle.
Yeah, it's way more refined, way calmer. But I think the tuning in this is a bit too calm. Like, the most dynamic sport RS mode in this doesn't feel that dissimilar on the throttle to the comfort mode in the GLE
That's
and the
true.
X5M.
I will say though, interestingly, from my perspective, this is not that much different in terms of like being jostled around back here.
Really?
This is a very unique perspective. I've never tested the suspension of a car like this before.
As the driver, this feels calmer to me. I feel calm.
But, like how much of that could be engine and transmission tuning?
Absolutely. It does feel, yeah, I understand. Delay.
Very quiet. This
On the X5M competition.
Yep.
And you're lucky because we're on winter setup right now. So we're on
Yes.
smaller wheels and more rubber. And you live with this. You live
I
with this
lived with
car
this for a week and I hated it.
on the summer setup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been a guaranteed.
This doesn't feel as harsh. Well, I say that, but then we just did that bump right there.
Yeah. The biggest problem with this car is the highway.
Yes, it's because the steering, right?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Carsten drove us to London to film the Escalade video we did.
Yep.
And by the end, his hand was in pain because he had to keep the steering wheel steady the entire time.
Because the steering is so fast.
It does feel good out on these back roads, though, Scott.
Yeah, from your perspective. I jump.
No, the AMG. They all.
The M. Yeah. Have the results here.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes.
That's
All
the
right.
results.
Put this down. You hold this. Okay. Put that down on the thing there so people can see it. Yeah. That's the RSQ8.
This looks like Stewie Griffin from Family Guy.
Yeah. This is just how I see you as a little British baby. Anyway, so pay attention. This is important. This is science.
Yeah.
Okay. RSQ8. That looks like you. AMG. A little bit less like you. And there's the X5.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the reason is that the X5 would never, it just kept jostling back and forth.
It's amazing how similar the AMG and the RSQ8 is, given what you
Yes.
said. Like,
Yes.
as smooth as the ride feels, it's obviously got some jostle.
Well, we realized that the RSQ8 part of its smoothness is not just its ride, it's its transmission and engine, right? So in terms of ride, the AMG and the RSQ8 are very similar.
Very similar.
And the it's just in a league of its own.
I think that's credit to the AMG, actually. I think Mercedes have figured out a way to keep it as sporty as possible.
You can see from their review, the GLE 63 AMG is the best in terms of comfort. Now there are other comparisons to make.
Reasonable. This grille has become fine.
Yes, and this is black as well, so it
blends in.
It blends in.
But no, it's got the M mirrors. It's a great looking. It accomplishes the task of being an X5M competition. Yeah. RSQ8. Like I said about the RS6, it does have express toll route transponders glued to the front of the grille. I don't know what this.
I agree. It's not the perfect execution of that technology.
No, this is a carbon fiber package as well, right?
$5,000.
$5,000.
It's a little bit over the top, I think, because it's not that obvious, and the whole part of this car is that it's subdued. Also, elephant in the room. Sorry.
Yeah.
And before we get rubbish for this in the comments.
Yeah.
It would be more accurate to compare this to the GLE 63S Coupe and the X6M.
X6M.
However, we haven't got the GLE 63S Coupe yet in North America.
No.
And
BMW
so we figured
didn't
this
have an X6M for us.
and RSQ8 can't come in the normal SUV shape. So
Right.
we're just going to leave this as the odd one out.
It is smaller.
It's smaller, a bit subdued.
But you know what it isn't as good looking as? Is the RS6, which is basically
Yeah, we were gonna go there.
the same thing.
Yes.
It's got all the same stuff in the same interior room, more or less, and it's a beautiful
But in
wagon.
reference to these two vehicles,
These two.
these two,
Oh, these two.
what do you like it?
No. I think that this is probably the best looking overall here. Do you agree?
This is the most flashy though, right?
Yeah.
That's the small town
That
wannabe
is the
Toronto in
AMG
you.
way.
See, kept on saying it, both of them. So it's probably the best looking, the most flashy amongst them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small town. What are you talking about? This has got
Drew
the
me as a baby.
This
Okay.
this has got the Pan Americana grille, which really just you know, the front end.
Just really puts it through
It's through the ceiling.
Yeah.
So now, what I have to say to this is, even before they made this analysis, I and my dad have always been saying that Mercedes, amongst all the German brands, Mercedes is the best. But my dad still loves BMWs. BMWs have stronger performance, they have balance, but Mercedes always has this thing. It's a one of a kind. That's why they always have that slogan, the best or nothing. So the Mercedes, only that each car has the advantages and disadvantages. The X5, the BMW, is always good, you get it brand new, and it's always good that you fix it. When it starts getting problems, it's more expensive to maintain. That's why there's an expert, he knows more of the mechanical. There's an expert that says that the BMW always has a low second-hand value, as in when you want to get them fairly used, it's always cheaper than the Mercedes, because why? They are more expensive to maintain, and you have to maintain them and take care of it all the time. But the Mercedes, you don't have to do that. But once the Mercedes gets to over 100,000 kilometers, it starts having these peripheral problems, things that drop it. So it depends on your maintenance of both cars. But an Audi, Volkswagens, they have never really been a thing to me. They're always having gearbox issues, several issues. You can take care of Audi or Volkswagen now. You take it to the shop or the mechanic, and once you bring it back to the house, the next day even the ignition doesn't on. So I don't really like Audis at all. Even there's an expert that Audi has always been after. They have always been attacking, because he has always been attacking their brands. Volkswagen is there because of with personal experience with our family. They don't really, I don't really like Volkswagens. They are not really that durable. But the BM and the Mercedes is overall, in so many things, is overall the best in a lot of things over the BMW. Yes, it's the best. Only that the Mercedes consumes a lot of fuel as per se, but the Mercedes has a 9-speed automatic transmission. The BM is an 8-speed transmission. But you see that they gave this on this website here, this CarBus, they gave the GLE an 8.8. So you see that they still prefer to the BMW. But however, it depends on how you maintain it. To me, the BMW is a car that you should always be trading off more often and getting new ones in order not to have problems. But the Mercedes you can keep for some time before trading it off. Like I said, once it gets to 100, my father always tells me, once it gets to 100,000 miles, it starts bringing up peripheral problems. But the engine will still be all right. So that's it for today for my own review. Thanks for watching. In case you want me to do any other kind of comparison or review or anything, I do both celebrity car reviews and normal car reviews. Do feel free to hit that subscribe button, like it, and also comment. Give me a comment down below to tell me what you feel and what other content you would like me to create for you. I'm only here to serve my audience. Thank you.